第2局刘鑫开球。犯规。线后自由球。10秒，延时。
Good day and welcome everyone to day 4 here at the 13th Joy World Heyball Masters Grand Finals from sunny Chengdu City in the Sichuan province in China. Very exciting matches we've had so far today. That very explosive match on the main table earlier. Jeffrey Ignacio just edging out Yugesh from India. That was a really good match as well. We saw a great comeback there, and then Jeffrey just closing that one out. On our TV table now we have round 5 of the Chinese group. Liu Xin versus Liu Xin. We have seen Liu Xin play many times before. As you would know, he is the current Heyball world champion. He did win that in Slovenia. He also won the European Open, the European Heyball Open that was held there. We've watched him play many times. He's a very accomplished player indeed. Always high ranking in these Joy tournaments. This is a winner break format, as you can see after his opponent made that rack and run off his dry break. Liu Xin now to break the second frame score, 1 apiece. It is a race to 13. This is a double elimination stage of the tournament as well. 64 players down to 16. Those 16 players will meet the 16 superseded Chinese players. And there you saw a really nice break from Liu Xin. Very explosive, potting a ball on that break. We have seen many dry breaks in this tournament thus far, especially with the new break rule. You can place the cue ball anywhere behind the balk line. And also, we are no more using the magic rack, so that adds another element to this game, making it that much more exciting, that much more unpredictable. It is such an exciting game already. So this is the game of Heyball, and if you haven't seen it before, these are American-sized pool balls played on a 3/4 snooker table. So it's snooker cushions, snooker cut pockets, and napped cloth. This is the Strachan 6811. And we are playing on the Joy Q8 golden table. That is 3 pieces of thick slate. Perfectly machined to create one dynamic playing surface. The steel blocked cushions also make these tables such consistent and excellent playing tables. Only the best for the players at these Joy tournaments. I'm sure all the players now are used to that. Only the best conditions for them. And I must say it's such a good opportunity for international players as well. We have had almost 700 international players at this tournament from over 122 different countries. Now look at that. We are looking at an excellent break and run from Liu Xin. Just making sure he doesn't touch that solid at the top, but this has been flawless. Perfectly executed, and that is the first break and run of this match as he leads Liu Xin 2 frames to 1 this race to 13. Hi Trish, always nice to have you on the stream as well. Thank you for joining us. Caesar will be playing at 6 p.m. local time here in Chengdu City. The current time is just after 2 p.m. So in about 4 hours time, Caesar will be playing. I have shared the links on my Facebook page for the live scores of this tournament and the draws as well. So we are currently in stage 1 of the main draw. So if you have a look at the stage 1 links, you can find the draw, the flow chart, and live scores as well. Another cracking break from Liu Xin. Have a look at this. Breaking from the side. We've seen that break used by Tang Xunshan yesterday. And potting 2 balls on that break. So you can also find the table list and the upcoming fixtures on the Joy Heyball World Tour page. We're also live on the YouTube page as well. We do try and share the other table links in the YouTube stream comment section, so keep an eye on that as well.
10秒，延时。
You have to agree, excellent cue ball control from Liu Xin. Very similar to the cue ball control we saw yesterday from Liu Haitao. Making these clearances look so easy. Look at the accuracy with that. To play at that pace, you have to be so accurate. We usually trying to stun those in or power them in. The confidence you have to have in your stroke to play them at that pace. And I can guarantee you he played for that bump on the black ball. You'll hardly see a miscalculation from these players. Excellent, flawless clearance from Liu Xin. This is an unbelievable standard of play, and that is another break run. So, 2 consecutive break and runs from Liu Xin. So as you can see how important that break-off shot is. Many players struggling with the break, not able to pot a ball on the break, but somehow Liu Xin has that break almost perfect. Let's have a look if we can do it again. This winner's break format looking quite dangerous for Liu Xin sitting in his chair for the last 2 racks.
6局，刘俊言开球。
That side break, connecting the first ball full, yep, and making another ball in the center. As we see Liu Xin sitting in his chair, has been for the last 2 racks. As he's watched Liu Xin make 2 break and runs in a row. Can we see 3? So it looks like the change of break rule and not using a magic rack, not affecting Liu Xin. Looks like he wants to go stripes.
10秒，延时。
Interesting to see how he decides to play the 9. And is he going to take the 9 to the top? Is that something he might be thinking about? Does have one of his stripe balls in the top right corner pocket as well. I'd be looking to land right behind the 9. Yeah, it does look like he might be thinking about taking the 9 on. They're having a look at what he wants for the 12 as well. So it all depends on where this 9 finishes after making contact with the 13. How well has he played this? It looks like it could be slightly awkward as it has gone more towards the top cushion. So from where the cue ball is now, that becomes a much tougher pot. So he's going to be taking on this 12. It's a very high chance you see him screwing right back up table, possibly into balk. There we go. Cue ball into balk. Hasn't come far enough for the 9, but left himself really nicely on the 11 to the center. So important shot now on how he gets on this 9 ball. Black ball is out in open play, available in all pockets, well, all 4 pockets at the bottom of the table at least. This requires another excellent shot with cue ball control. So he's deciding, oh, and he's missed it. Trying to cheat the angle, trying to cheat that center pocket. Have a look at this here. He was trying to hold the cue ball for the 9. Oh, I don't believe that he's missed that. I really don't believe that he's missed that one. He was looking set for 3 consecutive break and runs. Liu Xin now at the table, and I'm sure given this opportunity, he's going to want to at least secure this frame and pull one back. As soon as we have the table match for the 6 p.m. matches local time, I will share them. They will be shared to the Joy Heyball World Tour page as well as my personal page as well. It will be shared as public, so welcome to have a look at that and find any information you might need regarding this tournament. If you have any questions about this tournament or the matches, just feel free to ask on the comment section while I'm on the stream. Do my best to answer those for you. So this is what this frame comes down to: 4 onto the 9, cue ball behind the 1. Has he left the jump on though? I know there's definitely a 1 cushion escape, but the 1 cushion is tough. You're almost certain to a very high chance to pot this if you make the escape. If you're making contact with it, the only way it goes wrong is if it catches the right hand side center pocket jaw from our angle now. Also say you wouldn't want to be smashing this. You want to play it at a gentle pace like this. Here the cue ball comes, and look at that. Unbelievable from Liu Xin. What can Liu Xin say? And he's on this black ball to go for 1 up. No mistake. That was very impressive. Excellent. Excellent play from Liu Xin and goes 4-1 up in this race to 13 as we have a look at the shot again. Catching it quite fine and it just dropping in. Liu Xin knows he left the one cushion escape, so he has to deal with that. And have a look at the stats already. 2 break-in runs and 1 rack-in run for Liu Xin out of 4 frames that he's won. 75% run-out rate. And I can tell you that won't change as we go further in this match. That will stay above 50% at least. That is the consistency and the level of these players. Let's have a look at his break. He's been breaking really well so far to get those 2 consecutive break and runs, but this one looks dry. And that will bring Liu Xin to the table. Coming to the table in the previous frame, he did face some issues like that 9 ball in that corner pocket. He did try his best to play a good safety. I mean, it was a good snooker, but not good enough as Liu Xin came out, potted, and had position on the black ball as well. And another miss from Liu Xin. This is going to be costly. He knows it. He's up against a real force in Liu Xin. So for those of you just joining us, this is day 4 here at the 13th World Heyball Masters Grand Finals. We are now in the main stage, the main draw of this tournament. This is the Chinese group you are watching. They are playing race to 13 winner break format. That is why you see, or why you've seen the same person breaking the last few frames, is because he's won the last few frames. So the format has changed to a winner break format. We're also now not using the magic rack, and you can also place the cue ball anywhere behind the balk line. Another change in the break rule: 4 balls don't need to cross the balk line anymore. The rule has changed to 4 balls just needing to make contact with the cushion, thus eliminating the foul breaks and also the 3 foul break loss of frame rule. So because of the number of foul breaks reducing, we won't have any loss of frames due to the break. In my opinion, it's quite a good rule. I mean, it could be your day where you're just not breaking right. As much as the magic rack did create a perfect breaking environment, I've seen it many times where it's because you're aiming so much to pot the balls in the center, you using more of a technical break than a power break. And because of that, you might not get 4 balls past the balk line. So you're relying on the balls to fall in the center, possibly 2 coming over the balk line then, because it was a point system breaking rule. And if it's not your day and you're not hitting that pack right, you're in trouble. So after that miss from Liu Xin at the table, and it looks like he's taking the 6 ball down. This is a shot and a half. My word. Would you look at that? The confidence that he played that ball with. As we see the replay of that, have a look at this. At his precision. And you can't say that all his clearances have been easy. There's always been a ball or 2 like that you'll see many players missing. Liu Xin, the form this man is on. As he takes another rack Score now 5 frames to 1 to Liu Xin. This is unbelievable,
台
the
地幻
quality of
影
play
之
we are
刃系列
watching.
大杆搭载
And that's
碳纤维
off the
前置，
one mistake that Liu Xin made,
精
missing
雕
that
工
ball
艺，
to the top corner pocket.
品质卓
And
越，
once again, Liu Xin capitalizing.
严丝
He
合
will
缝
be
卓
breaking
越
next,
体现。
as it is a winner break
选
format.
台地，掌球技，
Beautiful to watch this game being played at this level. There you see the triangle being used. Also, if you'd notice on the balk line, we don't have those lines anymore stipulating where you need to break from. That was 16 centimeters from the side cushions. Although he is breaking from around that point anyway, but he doesn't have to. Can put that cue ball anywhere behind the balk line. Big thank you to everyone joining us on our live stream platforms. We will be coming to you every day until the end of this tournament with as much live coverage as we can. Definitely all of TV Table 1's matches, 3 matches a day until the final, which is on the 17th of May. Good day to you, Craig Bauer. Nice to have you on the stream. Owner of Sessions Billiards and Darts, Cape Town. Craig Bauer is an amazing establishment you have, boasting Heyball tables, 9-ball tables, as well as bar box tables. One of the best venues to play pool at in South Africa is Craig Bauer Sessions. It's nice to have you on the stream as always. And definitely that 6-ball was very, very challenging. Played it with no doubt, very confident. It was nice to see that being played that way. Had to play it that way because he was looking for the position as well. Had he rolled it, might have not got the position, but also you risk understroking the ball, deselling. I'd also like to know what's up with Liu Xin. He has not been playing his best in this match so far. The few opportunities he has gotten, he hasn't taken them, and every mistake he's made being punished by Liu Xin. Yes, Craig, would love to have you at the next Heyball Masters. This is where you need to be, and you need to bring more of the Sessions family to this event. Sessions players also doing really well at this event. I know their young junior pro, Marnitz Hawks, playing some excellent matches as well.
10秒，延时。
So I would love to see you at the next event, Craig. Looking forward to it. Our goal for this tournament is to reach as many players around the world as we can, giving them the opportunities to play in this event and experience an international event of this caliber. Not only are they going to play in this event, they can also watch these matches live in the arena. It's way different than watching this on YouTube, trust me. Being in that arena and watching it live. And there, once again, we see an unforced error from Liu Xin. This ball could definitely go. Let's have a look at it. Yeah, it could go. That could go. Might have had to cheat the pocket a bit, but it could go. It looks to me like Liu Xin is not settled yet in this match.
10秒。
And now Liu Xin back at the table. Doesn't have much to work with. Has to take this 11 ball to the center. There's pressure on this. And what a pot that is. That is an excellent pot. So does he put this 13 in the position of the 1? In Heyball, you can play your own ball and pot your opponent's ball as long as you make contact with your ball first. So as a tactical move, does he pot the 1 and leave this ball there? Does he play for the double drop? He was playing for the double drop. Definitely playing for the double drop there. That's why he played it at that pace. Got the cue ball out to play the 12 next. That was a tough one. That was a very tough one, as that 1 ball was not in the center of the pocket. Very tough double drop to make. And looking at what's on the table now and judging by how Liu Xin has been playing thus far, I do feel worried for Liu Xin. It looks like he might be 6-1 down. And they've only been playing for about half an hour, just over. Look at the confidence in his stroke. Okay, I would say the 7 ball is a tester, because he's going to be, I think he's going to be stunning this with a slight screw back for the 5. Depends how he wants to land on the 5. There you see him looking at the 5. There, so either low or high, one of the two, but he has to, if he's coming high, he has to come high enough to move the cue ball around the table. And if he's staying low, he has to stay low enough. So which way does he decide to play the 7? Looks like he's going high ball on the cue ball. Yeah, it was a slight tester. It was a slight tester there. Have a look at this again. Inside cushion first and out. Yeah, that was a tester. I think that's only the 2nd ball he's missed thus far in this match. Liu Xin has a look at this 12 ball into the bottom right corner pocket. If it goes, should get position on the 13. Just to watch out for the cue ball in the 6. Gone past the 6. And what a pot that is. That is absolute top draw from Liu Xin. That is the Liu Xin we are used to seeing. That is the Liu Xin we saw at the Heyball World Championship last year. And look at this. Look at this for a shot. That is Liu Xin saying he is very much in this match. Excellent last few pots from Liu Xin. Brilliant. Brilliant play from Liu Xin. Those last few pots, absolutely flawless from Liu Xin. Score now 5-2 in favor of Liu Xin. And after the next frame, there will be a 10-minute player break. So every 8 frames, mandated 10-minute player break. This is a race to 13 winner break format. And we are still at the double elimination stage of this tournament. It was really nice to see Liu Xin arriving at the party in that last frame. A few unforced errors he's made. Was worried that we weren't going to see the real Liu Xin. And there you can see breaking from the middle of the table. Have a look at how loose that back arm is. And that's the thing with that break. The pendulum break, very easy to miscue. Very easy to miscue. Wry smile from Liu Xin. Oh, he knows that might be a costly mistake, so referee just having a look at this cue ball.
可以用了。对，它还是有这个好点，可以用。第8局，刘俊言开球。
Might be some residue from the tip left on that cue ball from Liu Xin after that miscue. Liu Xin to break now. 4-ball going in. So this might be costly. This might be costly. Look, in the game of pool, having the break is definitely an advantage. It has always been an advantage. You are at the table. Yes, the break with the triangle is there's some luck involved in that. You're never 100% certain of making a ball. Like with the magic rack, I'd say players could say 95 to 99% certain. I have seen players make a ball almost every rack. And I can actually name a player that has made a ball 3 racks in a row in front of me and called the ball, actually. And that is our very own from South Africa, Wayne Parker. So at the African Heyball Open in Morocco, Wayne was playing, and we were talking about the break, and then he said to me, just I'll tell you which ball is going in. And he called it 3 times in a row. And to me, it looked like he could have carried on. So yeah, so that's how predictable that break could be. Yeah, that looked like it was going wide from the start, catching the outside jaw, Liu Xin, not punishing Liu Xin for that break-off shot. So this would be a good frame to pinch for Liu Xin before the break. You can see he tried to get the 9 into play. Ten ball also at the top of the table. Not too sure if that passes. He is having a look at that now. Looks like he has played on the 10. Means the 10 ball must pass. Very interested to see how he gets on the 9 ball. If he can remove the 11 ball from in front of it, the 9 does go to the bottom right. The schedules and the draws are on the Joy Heyball World Tour page, as well as my personal Facebook page. The link to my page is in the title of this live stream. And you can also scroll through the Joy Heyball World Tour page, find all the links for this tournament. A brilliant shot. Brilliant shot from Liu Xin to move the 9 ball. Needs his extension. These are 9-foot tables. So it'll be stretching quite a bit across this table. And the cue ball is past the halfway line. So you see him come off one cushion. So how does he play this now? Does he hold? Look, he is off angle on this 9, the cue ball tracking up table. So does he hold or does he play the cue ball in and out of balk? Cue ball needs to hold up. Cue ball needs to hold up. Okay, he's got it for the corner. That was really well played from Liu Xin. Played that really well. So he needed this frame before the break. And he needs this black ball. Oh, where's the black ball going? Oh my word. Liu Xin flicks the black ball into the center pocket. Score 5-3. It is a 10-minute break. I don't think he's going to be too happy with that. Have a look at this once again. Rattles in the jaw off one cushion and going towards the side pocket. That brings about a 10-minute player break. Thank you everyone for joining us thus far. We'll be back in around 10 minutes. Don't go anywhere.
专用提醒您，精彩比赛马上开始。
把8号球开进，看是否复位还是重新开球。对，摆到这个点。好，重新开球。第9局，刘星开球。 10秒，延时。
Good day, everyone. So, score is now 5-all. It was 5-3 at the break. This looked like one-way traffic before the break. Liu Xin did manage to pull that one frame back before the break. He was 4-1 down at some point in this match. He's now managed to equalize us 5-all. That shows you in a race to 13 at the beginning of the match, scoreline doesn't mean too much. As now we see Liu Xin is the one who's sitting for these last few frames. And now Liu Xin with some excellent cue ball control. This is looking good for another run out. 9-ball should pass into the center pocket. Have a look at where he takes this cue ball after potting the 12. Through the gap. Yeah, he's played on the 9. Would have liked to be slightly straighter on this 9-ball so he could get nicely on the 15. So now this 15, which angle do you use to play it in? Have a look at where he's looking at. He needs to leave an angle so he can get over onto the left side of the table to play the black ball in the top right. Has he gone far enough? Yeah, it looks perfect. Just going to drift the cue ball up towards the top ball cushion. Stuns that in. Not trusting the cue ball to drift it into position, rather stunning it on and off the side cushion. And what a comeback Liu Xin has made from being 5-3 down to now leading 6-3. And I believe that is another break and run for Liu Xin. What a comeback indeed. Hi Jeff, I do believe that when people join the stream they can't see the previous comments. You actually have to be out of the stream to see the comments on Facebook. But if they do just join the stream, they can't see the previous comments where I did mention the time where Caesar is playing. For those of you tuned in and fans of the Scorpion, he is playing at 6 p.m. tonight. Fixture list not out yet, but as soon as it is, it will be shared onto the Joy World Heyball Tour page as well as my personal page as well. And Liu Xin with a big break. And have a look at the spread on that break. The cue ball unfortunately going off the table, so that is a foul. Ball in hand behind the line. That will bring Liu Xin to the table. So far since the break, Liu Xin putting together 3 quick frames on the bounce. And for the first time in this match, he goes into the lead, leading 6 frames to 5 over Liu Xin in this race to 13 winner breaks match. There is no time limit on these matches. Off the 3. Yeah, didn't want that 3 to go and block the stripe at the bottom of the table. This looks like quite a tough clearance to me. If you have a look at the two stripes at the bottom of the table, looks like the 12 near the 2. So that 12 not potable at the moment. So how does he get onto that? If he leaves an angle on the 13, yeah, so this looks like a good play. 13 into the gap of the 2 and the 12. Oh, and how's he missed that? How has he missed that? He just took his eye off the pot for a second. Never expected to see him missing that ball. Cue ball behind the 7. Yep. Looked like that one ball couldn't pot, so Liu Xin putting the one ball out into the open. Same time snookering his opponent. Looking at the one cushion escape coming down the right hand side of the table. Almost potting that. We did see him pot out of a snooker early in this match, that center pocket shot in which he won the frame after Liu Xin snookered him. Liu Xin has to go for this 2 into the bottom left now. And this has to go. Can't afford to have Liu Xin coming back to the table. He's played that nicely. Removing the 3 ball will open that pocket for the 6 as well. Liu Xin definitely looking favorite to go up 7 frames to 5. Looks to me like he'll be taking the 1 ball next, as 4 ball taking him very close to cannoning into the 8 ball. So 1 next, try and get the cue ball out. Of 2 cushions, playing for the 4 now. Like to be as straight as he can on this 4, leave himself as close as he can to the 7 ball next. Could play the black ball into the left center pocket. Oh, he's gotten absolutely perfect on the 7 now. Thought if he was a bit forward with the cue ball, he could stun across, but no need. I think he is pretty much straight in on the 7. And this black ball into the right center pocket will give him a 7-5 lead in this race to 13. Almost to the halfway point in this match. And Liu Xin really finding his stride now as that black ball goes in and he goes 7-5 up. To be honest, I was worried about him at the beginning of this match. It didn't look good for him. He was missing some easy shots. And Liu Xin capitalizing on every mistake he made. That was some amazing clearances from him. But if you look at the statistics now, 2 break and runs for Liu Xin, 1 rack and run. So really good level of play from Liu Xin now, and that's what he needed. That frame before the break and the few frames afterwards. Now leading by 2 frames. Previous frame capitalizing on the mistake from Liu Xin. There's that break again. Have a look at the power he gets into that cue ball. Maximum power. Throwing the entire weight of that cue and his body at that break. Nothing in on that occasion. So dry break from Liu Xin brings Liu Xin to the table.
$10秒，延时。
The 2 players on TV table 1, although they have the same surname, they aren't brothers. Liu Xin and Liu Xunyan are not brothers. Just 2 excellent Chinese pool players. And to be honest, it'll be nice to see Liu Xunyan fight back and fight this run from Liu Xin. Because we've seen what he was capable of at the beginning of this match, pulling out such a lead so quickly. And that's an unforced error. Have a look at this. So referee calling a foul with that. So he miscued, but because the cue ball jumped over the 5 ball by scooping the cue ball, referee has called a foul. Just by the way, jump shots are allowed in the game of Heyball, but you have to play into the table. So if you have seen the jump shots before, you raise the butt of the cue, you play into the table, so you're actually bouncing the ball off the bit of the table over a ball. You cannot scoop the white ball. By scoop, I mean when you're playing very low on the cue ball, bottom white, and you miscue, the white tends to jump. So that's what we call a scoop. So if the cue ball does that and hops over an object ball, it is considered a foul. Actually haven't seen that happen before. It's the first time I've seen that happen in this game. Oh, Liu Xin with ball in hand, playing the 11 onto the 10. He's looking at laying a good safety. I don't think this 4 goes into the center pocket. Be very tight indeed if it does. I don't think it does. And if he does take on the 4, he does open up the 14. Looks like he was going for the cross double on the 5. A little bit of a reckless shot, I would say. The way he played it. If you have just joined us, you are watching day 4 here at the 13th World Heyball Masters Grand Finals, brought to you by Joy. This is round 5 of the Chinese group. 64 players down to 16. And those 16 players who qualify from this group will be met with the 16 superseded Chinese players. And when I talk about superseded players, I am talking about the likes of Chu Bingji, Jiang Kangpeng, and the likes. On as well is the international group, round 3, where 192 players are qualifying down to 48. That is the main draw for them as well. And those are paid places for those international players. And that 48 will be met with the international superseded players, the likes of Chris Melling, Gareth Potts, all in action from Saturday onwards. We will have every TV Table game, TV Table 1 game streamed live on our platforms, Facebook and YouTube. As well as all the links and the flow charts to the entire tournament. Those links also on the YouTube pages, Joy Heyball World Tour, as well as my personal page as well. I have also shared the schedule for the rest of the tournament, so have a look at that so you can follow. We do have 3 matches per day, or 3 rounds per day, starting at 10 a.m. local time here in Chengdu, China. 10 a.m., 2 p.m. and 6 p.m. I think Liu Xin was trying to break up that 13 and black ball with that shot, coming very close but also missing the pot. So both players now missing some pots I don't expect them to miss. And that's a wonderful shot. Wonderful shot from Liu Xin, opening up that 4. Looks like the black ball does go if he can get on the right side of it. So this looks good as we have a look at that again. Have a look at the 4 ball. Oh, and have a look at that for a shot. The cue ball control. Unbelievable. Off 2 cushions to land plumb on the 4 ball like that. That is absolutely ridiculous. Unbelievable. It's not easy to be surprised in this game anymore. I've been playing it and watching it for so long, but there's a few moments that still surprise you, and that was one of them. The cue ball control of Liu Xin. That previous shot, he couldn't have placed the cue ball any better with his hand. And that's after going almost a full table length up and down the top of the table, and that is an excellent finish to pull one back. Score now 7-6 in this race to 13. Brilliant finish from Liu Xin.
第14局，刘俊言开球。
Liu Xin in breaking in this 15th rack. My mistake, 14th rack score is 7-6 to Liu Xin. They are playing a race to 13. And now Liu Xin coming to the table with that dry break. Managed to control the cue ball nicely through the group of stripes. And have a look at solids now. Just want to say thank you to everyone for joining us on our live platforms as well. We are live on Facebook and YouTube. Thank you for following through this tournament. And any questions you might have, you can post them in the comments. I'll try my best to answer them. Would love to see you guys here at the next one. It's an unforgettable experience for players to come to international event like this held by Joy. Always knew that cue ball was going towards the stripes, but he played that really well. Gentle kiss on the stripe balls, left himself on the one. So now this cue ball needs to go back up table. Yeah, so with a shot like that, playing into the area near the 6, if you do go too far, you're still on the 7. So rather longer than shorter, that kind of shot. Guaranteed to be on the 7 if you do go too far. However, he's perfectly on the 6 ball. And this is looking like 8-6. That shot as well, perfectly executed. So this will be a rack and run off Liu Xinyan's dry break. Score now 8-6 to Liu Xin, and that is the Liu Xin we know and we have seen before. Brilliant clearance from him.
Rock and roll.
Really hard to see how he was actually 4-1 down and missing balls in this match at the beginning. Now you see the difference in how he's playing. The cue ball control, unbelievable. There you see the statistics. 2 break and runs, 2 rack and runs out of 8. So that's a 50% run out rate. And 2 and 1 for Liu Xinyan out of 6. That's also a 50% run out rate. So currently these players have a 50% run out
第
rate
15局，刘星开
each.
球。
Very high standard indeed, and I have a feeling that number is gonna definitely go up. These players usually operate about a 70 to 75% run out rate. And have a look at that break. Now you can see why he's been able to get those run outs, but he's not going to be happy. Have a look at where that cue ball is finished. So far in this tournament, I have to say, most powerful break goes to Liu Xin, definitely. He is definitely breaking the triangle break well. Maybe even the best. It's a totally another element to get used to the triangle break. You're so used to using the the magic rack, the template. Changing to the triangle break requires an entirely different break. Playing with a lot of right. Can he swerve around the stripe? Rail first? No. Oh, look at that. Look at that for a shot. He's giving himself a wry smile. I don't know why he played that shot as well as he could. I think he might be unhappy with the position. He expected potting and position, of course. This is Liu Xin we're talking about. Is he looking at the 6 into the 2 into the center? No, you can't possibly. Oh, 6 into the 4 into the center. I see. That pot on the 7 at the bottom, that was insane. I don't see a finish on currently for Liu Xin, so just getting that near the pocket. He's left the 4 ball on. Only problem is Liu Xin has the 3 stuck to the 12 and the 10 up table, so is there any benefit in going for this clearance if you can't open the 3? I have to say Liu Xin, one of my favorite people to watch playing.
10秒。
Actually, one of the first big finals I commentated on when he won the championship in Slovenia, the Heyball championship. Played absolutely flawless to win that. Played very consistent as well, but that was also a race to 7. Race to 7 is a big difference to race to 13. You can afford to possibly start off slow. Take your time to get into the match. Race to 7 is so quick, you have to be firing from the get-go. And that's what we've seen here in this match. He was about 4-1 down at one point in time. And with the way Liu Xin was clearing the table, things didn't look good for Liu Xin. So with that little bunch broken up, if Liu Xin can't make a pot or get this white ball safe, Liu Xinyan's gonna come to the table and clear it. Guaranteed. This 4 to the center. Blast that in. That's an excellent shot. Looks like he's left himself on the double and the 3 ball. So 3 ball to the same center pocket. That had to go. That had to go, and it was a tough shot. It was his only option. 3 ball couldn't go into the top right, so he had to take that on. Have a look at this 4 ball once again. Absolutely blasted that into that center pocket. And now, I'm afraid this looks like it is going to be a clearance from Liu Xin. Don't expect him to miss anything on this table. These two players just happen to have the same surname. They are not related in any way. There's two excellent Chinese pool players with the same surname. The way he's played this, his black ball must pass into the center. And that's what he came around to have a look at quickly. Must go. Although he doesn't want this cue ball on the cushion. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Almost straight in on that ball, able to manufacture a slight angle. Liu Xin goes 8-7. He still trails Liu Xin, but he has pulled another one back. He was down 8-5. This is very exciting stuff. So the score now 8-7. 60th frame next, and after that frame it will be 8-10 and play a break. As there is after every 8 frames. There you see the statistics of this match again. Very high level indeed.
第16局，刘俊言开球。
Hi David, I actually am a player as well, and I did compete at this year's Joy Heyball Masters. Had quite a tough draw in the qualifying stages and couldn't make it through. Because although we have about 700 international players here, they are of very high quality, coming from all different kinds of cue sport backgrounds, be it snooker, normal UK type pool, black ball, 9-ball. So very dangerous players here, especially on the international side as well. So you don't know the draw you're going to get, and also I did not play my best.
好球杆最难的不是木料、设计和工艺，而是对运动的理解、对力学的研究和对运动者经验大数据的采集与处理。LP 以一颗匠心，超过30年的经验累积，全世界数百万使用者的反馈数据，懂球，懂力，更懂你。
罂粟胶边具有国内胶边很难做到的特点，罂粟胶边的硬度达到了45度，使反射角高度接近入射角。罂粟整条胶边误差小于20丝，因而各部位互性一致。欢迎各品牌厂家使用罂粟胶边来提升台球桌的专业性能。好胶边罂粟皂，好胶边罂粟。
暂停结束，比赛继续。第17局，刘俊言开球。
So we are back with the scores 8 apiece in this race to 13. Just shows you anything can happen in a match like this. I did see a question regarding the cue ball cleaning. So when a player asks for the cue ball to be cleaned, it does come off his time. The clock is not stopped. That's if he asks for it to be cleaned. As you would see players doing that before they pot the black ball or an important shot, or if there's any chalk dust on it. However, if the cue ball has gone off the table, the referee cleans the cue ball. And obviously the referee cleans the cue ball when it goes in the pocket, after a foul. But if a player chooses to ask the referee to clean it, it comes out of their time. And they only have 45 seconds per shot. They do have one extension per frame of 30 seconds. And there you see Liu Xin taking his extension. Took that extra few seconds to think about how he's going to navigate his way through this clearance. So having a look at this table now, the 5 ball looks like a good last ball. And there you see him having the cue ball cleaned. So this is coming out of his time. So while the cue ball is being cleaned, he is looking at his next shot. But that only did take about 5 seconds. A lot of checked sides on that cue ball to straighten it up off the cushion. As you could see, the cue ball wanted to take its natural angle more down table, but to stay nicely on the 6 ball, at least straight. Didn't want to be on the wrong side of it, taking the cue ball away from his next object balls. I can see how people think these two players might be brothers with the same surnames. But I can assure you they aren't related in any way. Just coincidence that the two players playing each other on the main TV table have the same surname. So it was looking like the 5 ball as the last ball. Leave him nicely on the black ball to the left corner pocket, bottom of the table. It all depends on where he'd like to leave the cue ball on that black ball. Prefer to be more straight than high. But looking at the angle he has on the 5, he's going to be leaving this quite high. Yep. And there you see, he's taking a second. He is slightly on the wrong side of this 5 ball. There you have a look at it. So watch the cue ball near the 13, possibly on it. Yep. So that's not easy. Requires some potting. Oh, and that's a brilliant pot from Liu Xin. Needs to wait until the cue ball stops. Yep. Have to wait until the cue ball stops before you take out the balls. Otherwise, that will be a foul and loss of frame. So never want to be making that mistake. But that was a brilliant clearance from Liu Xin. That is another rack and run for him off Liu Xinyan's dry break. So there we have it. Out of 9 frames that Liu Xin has won, 5 have been clearances. That is more than a 50% clearance rate. These players are always aiming for around 70% of a clearance rate. Depending on how good their day is, that number can be in the 80s, closer to the 90s.
刘鑫开球，
And a bad day for them is around 60% plus. Liu Xin inspecting the rack, so he does lead 9 frames to 8. And we have seen he has a massive break. Watch this break. Boom. The 2-ball near the corner pocket. Oh, it was going. The 2-ball was definitely going. So, massive break from Liu Xin. Yeah, have a look at the 2-ball. 2-ball is tracking. And then the 4-ball just stops it. So, another dry break. But Liu Xin definitely has the most powerful break I've seen so far in this tournament. Liu Xin deciding to go solids, has the 5 next. And what a tight match this has been. Even like last night's match. Another very tight one. Tang Shunshao against Liu Haitao. That was an excellent match also. Very high quality. I think Liu Haitao had over 70% run out rate. Most of his runouts made off Tang Chunshao's dry break. But also very close as well. The scores at one time were 9 apiece. Liu Haitao made it 12-9. She came back to make it 12-all, but in the deciding frame she broke dry and he made the clearance. So you can see with these players and this level, a dry break, especially when it's a very good spread, you're almost guaranteed to be sitting in that chair. And then with the winner break format, your opponent comes to the table, and if he can pot a ball and run out, then you've been sitting for 2 racks. Similar to what happened in the beginning of this match when Liu Xin ran 2 racks in a row. There's 2 break and runs in a row off a triangle break. This is a tester. Bridging over the 9. And he smashes that in. You know, most people would play that like a bit more delicately. But he absolutely blasted that ball in, let the cue flow through. No signs of deceleration in his stroke. And have a look at the position. Have a look at the position on this black ball. And this is off Liu Xin's dry break. And that is a immaculate break, rack and run, sorry, from Liu Xin. Score 9 apiece in this race to 13. It's actually scary, the level these players are playing at. It is very scary indeed. I mean, to play at that level
乔氏金腿比赛专用
once,
提醒您，
you
精
know, you
彩
have
比
a
赛
good tournament, you
马
have
上
a
开
good
始。
day. But to play at this level consistently, unbelievable. Every match, every frame.
这是第19局，刘俊言开球。
We do have the links to the other tables on our YouTube stream. So if you have a look at the YouTube stream, the comments section, you'll find the links to all our other tables that are live streamed. Our next session coming to you at 6 p.m. local time here in Chengdu, China. The match on the TV table at that time will be Oliver Zolnocki against Santipab Ambunsa.
延时
That's going to be another exciting match as well, and that is at 6 p.m. So there's now quite an important frame to see which player gets to double digits first and that much closer to winning this match.
5、4、3。
Because I've watched Liu Xin play so many times before, I know that he definitely will not go down without a fight. So far, his opponent has been slightly more consistent from the beginning of the match, but that hasn't stopped him from making that comeback and even taking the lead in this match. However, Liu Xin equalizing it with that excellent rack and run. And look at that. Have a look at that shot. Baffles me how he was missing a few much simpler balls easier in this match. Once again, getting the cue ball cleaned. I was asked about this in one of the comments. Does the referee stop the clock? No, he does not. That time comes out of the player's time, but as you saw, it's less than 5 seconds. And that is just to make sure that he doesn't get any kicks when he's having a pot like that, for example. Because a pot like that played at medium pace, rolling the cue ball through, very easy to get a kick for it to throw that strike ball offline. Excellent play from Liu Xin, and he is first double digits. Score now 10-9. And that was another brilliant rack and run in this match. I'd like to have a look at the statistics now. And there we have it. So far 6 runouts in total for Liu Xin, keeping that percentage above 50, now at 60% runout rate for him. His opponent having 5 runouts out of 9, also above the 50% mark. So as you can see, nothing under 50% with the runout rate in these matches. I mean, just think about that. If you were playing a match and you were playing a race to 7, and out of 7 frames you've had 4 runouts, how good would you be feeling? How good would you be playing to have done that? And now try doing that every single day, every single match. And trust me, just above 50% is a bad day at the office for these players. As we see the break-off shot again, very powerful break from Liu Xin. Everything spread out, but it is dry once again. So gives his opponent the opportunity to equalize the score once again. To be honest, stripes are looking good, and I think this is going to be quick. This is going to go down very quickly. Takes the 14 to the top right. Land on the 13, cue ball back down to middle table for the 10. So with the international players, it was about 650 plus international players.